So last summer I phoned up Ben Ellis and said, mate, I know that you are part of one of the other vintage churches on the west side, but how would you feel about coming and joining in with our vintage Pasadena community just for a couple of months to lead worship and help us to grow our worship department? And even though it was such a long way, I managed to persuade him to just come for that short period, and 2 months became 3 months, became 4 months, became 5 months. And we are so amazingly grateful to Ben, who has traipsed across LA 3 times a week over this last year in order to be part of our staff team, in order to build worship teams, to lead worship on Sundays. It's been amazing. Part of the reason that Ben's been with us so long is that very quietly behind the scenes we've been doing a load of praying, a lot of seeking, a lot of searching to ask the Lord, like he might head up our worship and creative departments for the long term. And also last summer, just out of the blue, I got an email from somebody that I didn't know, but I actually grew up just down the street from, a guy called Tom Reed. Tom had been the worship pastor of the Vine Church, which, if you know of that, is an amazing Word and Spirit church in Hong Kong. He'd been head of Worship Central, worship movement in Asia. He then has moved his family over to London to be part of HDB Church and the Worship Central movement again in the UK, and then eventually ended up at St Aldate's Church, which is another fantastic church in the UK. And Tom contacted me and said, this is going to sound really strange, but I feel like God might be stirring our hearts towards a move, maybe even to LA. I hear that you might be looking for someone. Do you think this is something that God's in? And so we spent a long time over the last year thinking, praying, talking backwards and forwards to the Reeds, doing interviews and visa applications and loads of things. And we're so excited that Tom and Jacinta and Dylan and Layla are going to be moving over to LA to join up with us at the end of April. It's a huge answer to prayer, and Ben's going to stay on for a little bit as well, which is wonderful to have a handover, but we're so excited, and you'll see full information on the weekly news about the Reeds. And also, if you want to send them a little message to say hi, you can look them up on social media in the normal ways. But thank you for all your ongoing support and love. We had an amazing time together on Sunday morning. God really moving in very amazing, incredible, powerful ways. And we had an incredible time on Sunday afternoon with Bob Fulton, thinking about the Holy Spirit. And then we're going to do it all again this weekend. Lots of really exciting things coming up in the life of the church. Don't miss all the news on the weekly news as normal.